Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
It's Thursday, which means it's Dirt Night here on SimSpeed TV. And tonight we head to Knoxville Raceway for the 13th round of the ODSE ASC Championship. These are Loose Operations Knoxville Nationals here from Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville, Iowa, I should say. We're not in Tennessee. Very, very cool track. Home of some of the best dirt racing in the world. Zoom on into Knoxville. My name is Jay Kennedy here in the SimSpeed booth. Knoxville, just out of Des Moines in Iowa. One of the coolest tracks within the world of dirt racing. There should be some fantastic racing tonight. 40 lap A main around this very, very cool circuit. It's on half a mile in length, 800 meters. It's converted from horse racing back into dirt racing back in the 1950s. Format for tonight's racing, as always, 10-lap heats for the drivers. Top 5 will advance through to the A main with the C main of 12 laps, then the B main of 15 laps. Our A main will be a 40-lap race. The starting order actually by points order after the racing previous to that A main. Championship standings after last round. Last week, Ethan Winter now has a just on 85-point lead, 86-point lead over Tim Ryan for Altus Esports, Harry Stewart and Nathan Van der Wacker. Not too far behind as well. Darcy Wilson, Brady Baldwin, Bradley Oldfield, Kobe Noonan, Sean Stevens and Josh Barry rounding out the top 10 at this stage. But it is still very, very tight with 6 rounds left in the championship. Tonight will definitely be a very, very interesting night of racing for the drivers. lot of drivers also have taken the opportunity to run slightly different car paints as well, which is going to be cool to see. We'll go through them throughout the night, see if anything apologies, we're just waiting for race control to let things go. We're not too far off getting into qualifying as well, into the quick time session. I was just out on track at the moment, getting used to the conditions. And on-track action now coming through. Darcy Wilson currently fastest in the practice session that is out on track at this present stage. Drivers will be in for qualifying very, very soon. Ryan out on track there, and you'll notice, as we said, a few drivers running different paints tonight. Tristo Yellen running a different paint. The Neuro Power Rewards paint on tonight, and the Synergy Sim Racing drivers also all running different paint tonight. They've gone back to their 2020 paints of the Synergy Sim Racing team, back from the 360 Power Series we ran in 2020, the black and gold that they ran throughout that series. Very, very cool look for that team, and good to see it back on the cars for the team for tonight's special event. Drivers all getting a couple of laps before we advance into the race, into the next phase, I should say, into the qualifying. We're just waiting for race control. They're just closing the track back off, and we'll get into qualifying in a couple of minutes' time. Just a couple of issues behind the scenes, so we're just going to take a very, very short break, and we'll be back in a couple of moments' time. When we get back, it will be time for quick time session. This is the Loose Operations ODSE Knoxville Nationals, round 13 of this year's ASC Championship. It's been a fantastic series so far. We're not far away from getting into quick time here on SimSpeed TV. They're Kennedy in the booth, and looks like we'll be joined by Brady Baldwin in a couple of moments' time as well. Thank you once again to all of the series sponsors. Big thank you to Loose Operations for their support of this round of the series. We're doing our best throughout the night as well to keep track of the points throughout as well. Like I said, a few drivers running throwback paints. The SSR cars running a throwback to 2020 from the Power Series, 360 Power Series run there. John Schultz and Christo Yelland also running new paints tonight as well, so we'll keep a track on them. So we'll have Brady come and join us for the heats that he isn't racing. Here he is. He's actually joined us now. Brady Baldwin, hello.
Hello, Jay. Hello.
What a bit of an interesting night we've had, but we're getting through it. We're working things out on the fly, but we're about to get into quick time.
Yeah, we are. Oh, here's Reese. Reese is here.
Right on cue, Reese is here.
I can go qualify. Good luck, everyone.
Go and qualify, Brady, and I'll keep talking for a minute while Reese gets set up. And few drivers now starting to hit the circuit as well. Tristo Yelland, as we said, new look for him. Much brighter yellow look for him this round. Very cool to see. See what Tristo can do out on track. He hasn't had luck go his way throughout the series this year, but he has had a ball being out on track all season long.
Yeah, absolutely he has, Jay. Really sorry about my my relative lateness there. But yeah, looking forward to Knoxville bringing the action here tonight. And we'll see how Tristo goes, along with Brady, who's going to be off doing his laps very shortly indeed. Casey Simons, of course, on pole at the moment, fastest of the qualifiers, only 32 thousandths between himself and Darcy Wilson. This track's pretty much flat out the whole way around in these sprint cars, but a little bit of use of the brakes to get the car rotated on the way in can really help you down the straights here, and I think that's part of what's given Casey Simons that little extra push.
The other part of that too is it means that there's so many different variations that you can do when it comes to racing. How much do you run the outside flat out? Do you run the inside? And then there's so many differing thoughts around how much fuel you take as well, based on that same situation. So it's a really cool track for that. And I'm glad you're here. We were worried that something was wrong because it's not like you to not be here on time. So we're glad that you're here and you're all okay.
All right, excellent stuff. We'll keep our eyes peeled on the likes of Zach Rattray White as well, who's just gone fastest. That's a magnificent time there from him, but we're still waiting on quite a few times now from the drivers in this field as they steadily now improve on said times. Waiting to see if Rattray White can go a little faster than that, or if Casey Simons has another lap in the bank. I don't think he does. Jaden Russell, meanwhile, setting a 15.3. That'll put him into the top 15 as Brenton Hobson just gets his time in for 11th as I was finishing that sentence. Josh Barry now in at the number 14, off and around on his laps here. And for the moment, oh, have a look at that. Hobson to 7th. Looks like this is going to be a good night for him.
Yeah, well, it's great to see that Hobbo's up as high as he is, and Josh Barry, his first lap will slot him up into P2, not far away from Zach Rattray White. That's a fantastic lap from him, but the Vermilion cars look very, very quick tonight. Rattray White and Barry both doing a good job.
Yeah, indeed. Both of those cars going very well at the moment as, surprise, surprise, here's Tim Ryan in the final 60 seconds of the session. 16.1 being his fastest lap for the time being. That's just a banker for now. He'll be going a lot faster here, trying to stick to the inside as much as he can, setting a 14.8, and that will be good enough to put him, I was going to say straight to the top, but Ethan Winter sets his lap at the exact same time and goes fastest.
Wow, what a session that was in the end, and incredibly tight as well. Only 0.03 of a second separating first and second, so incredibly close. And Ethan Winter fastest by very, very slim margin. Nothing between
absolutely.
them, really.
Yeah, nothing at all. So only 0.04 of a second then between Ethan Winter and Tim Ryan for the quick time. Zach Rattray White qualifying in third place with the top 10 there, separated, of course, by that very short amount of time. And we are going to be instantly through into the grid for the first heat here, Jay. Looking forward to Knoxville bringing some steady action once again with Cole Ferguson starting on pole for Heat 1. Joel Berkeley joins him on the front row. Casey Simons and Ethan Winter, third and fourth.
We're inverting the top four.
We are.
Tonight. Yep.
We are indeed, yes. Hayden Vickers and Danny Vassell, fifth and sixth, with Bilson, De Bruin, and Borden rounding out our field. This is going to be a very fun time indeed. Let's see if Ethan Winter can fight his way back through to the lead, or if he decides to just get to second and stay there, because I think what really matters is the grid draw for the top 8.
Yeah, well, we don't have the grid draw tonight. It's all based on points. So reverse grid means that we've got passing points and points for different positions, and the top 8 in points will be where everyone grids up. Sorry, where everyone finishes will be where everyone grids up. So it'll be based on points. So pass as many cars as you can to get yourself as many positions as you can. It'll get you higher up and get you the best starting position when it comes to that 40-lap A main.
Alrighty, well, we'll get ourselves going very shortly here as the field waits for the call to go on the pace lap. And of course,
top 5 as well will automatically advance from this into the A main as well. Sorry, Rex.
I see. All right, excellent stuff. Well, we'll get this going very shortly indeed. This front row here with Joel Berkeley and Cole Ferguson, I think is going to be one to watch, because these two have both been incredibly quick at various points this season. One of the first times I've seen them really go head to head.
Yeah, it's been one of those seasons where we haven't seen everyone matched up against everyone. We've seen a lot of drivers go up against the same ones every week, and there's been a few that haven't had a chance to battle different drivers, so it's going to be cool to see, as you said, Ferguson and Berkeley and Simons and Winter. It's also going to be cool to see the likes of Ethan Winter come from back in the field. He started up the front in every heat this season so far, so it'll be cool to watch him make his way forward as well.
Yeah, that it will. Big fun on hand here for the Knoxville Nationals, part of the ODSE Australian Sprintcar Championships for 2024. The points have already been handed out for qualifying, and of course Ethan Winter getting 100 points for getting the quick time. But of course, thanks to that top 4 invert, he will be starting in 4th. This is going to be a very interesting night indeed, a slightly different format than what we've become used to over the course of the 2024 ASC season. But we're rapidly getting to the point now where the power will be put down by Cole Ferguson. Looking for a good jump from Ethan Winter, but especially from Casey Simons behind. Casey will know that the inside line will have the advantage on the starts here on a track that is still very tacky indeed, and it's a very fast circuit as well. So once you get that speed up, if you've missed the trick off the start, then it's going to be a while before you get that done. Oh, wow, the pace car in very late. We're already away. Looked like Berkeley had to have a couple of goes there. Cole Ferguson leading through turns 1 and 2, and there is the jump that Casey Simons would have wanted. Winter now side by side with Berkeley, who moves back into 4th. So now we keep our eyes peeled on Riley Bilson as well, who's worked his way up. He's trying to round up Berkeley here. Joel Berkeley not having a great time at the moment. He falls out of the top 5, out of the transfer spot. What is going on with the number 9?
It looks like he's really struggling.
Oh, Vickers and Bilson!
Make contact with you, as you said, Vickers. Oh! It's like De Bruin flying through the air as well. He's missing a wheel, so...
My God.
Be incredibly lucky for the likes of Berkeley, who was really struggling for pace. Danny Vassell now finds himself on the transfer spot.
That's ridiculous. Massive incident there between Riley Bilson and Hayden Vickers, and unfortunately Cameron De Bruin just in the midst of all of that. Oh no, Ethan Winter and Casey Simons then come together. That promotes Cole Ferguson up to second spot, and Winter, I think, has a bit of damage. I could see his front wheels wandering a little bit. At the very least, he has got a dent to the front of that car. This has been a bit of a crazy way to start the night.
100% it's been crazy. I think that's almost an understatement. It's been chaotic. We've also seen that Riley Bilson has received a black flag for that incident. We'll get a replay of it after this race is concluded. But Vassal now, up into that final transfer spot, he will just have some smooth sailing to get there to the end.
Yeah, all he needs to do is circulate, and that'll be it. Berkeley and Ferguson now fighting over third spot at the moment, entering the final 3 laps of this first heat of the night, and Berkeley's getting some pace back here. I think, oh God, can anyone make a pass in this heat without making contact is my question.
Obviously not. It seems as though it's a lot more difficult than we may have expected, but fingers crossed everyone else that is still yet to make an appearance out on the track. They might learn a lot from watching what's going out on track in this one, because it's been absolutely chaotic. White flag in the air, and Casey Simons, first race under his new team banner, will start off with a win.
Certainly is. KHR Racing winning on debut there, with a brilliant job by Casey Simons to overcome all the difficulties that were faced over the course of that heat. Man, there was just about as much action in that as we've seen in some features over our time broadcasting ODSE competition. So Simons wins by a second. Ethan Winter and Joel Berkeley round out your top 3. Ferguson and Vassal will transfer through to the feature along with them. Hayden Vickers, Riley Bilson and Cameron De Bruin all getting involved in more or less the same incident and paying for it dearly. Now it's time for Heat 2 with Harry Stewart and Brenton Hobson on the front row. The invert means that Wilson and Ryan are your second row. Jaden Russell starts with Nash Granger to round out the top 6. In 7th, it's going to be Tristan Yellen. Daniel Boyd joins him on the 4th row. Liam in race control is going to sit this one out and get another view of that incident that happened in Heat 1 here, seeing Bilson try to line up Vickers here, and it looked like Vickers was trying to stay low, but Bilson was trying to move up, and then in comes De Bruin, absolutely smashes it.
That was a huge impact there too, wasn't it, between De Bruin and Riley Bilson? But yeah, it shows that this track is chaotic. It's naturally a chaotic track, so fingers crossed we see a little bit of a cleaner one this time. Get ready to start the pace lap. Another strong field, this one.
Yeah, another very strong field indeed. Harry Stewart going to be the one to lead us away, and the caution has been ultra shortened. We are going to be going green instantly as soon as they come to turns 3 and 4, so they better make sure that they form up quick. Harry Stewart's got a lot of potential for points here tonight, and Brenton Hobson, to say nothing of him. The number 88 at Synergy Sim Racing has been knocking on the door of a good result in ODSE competition for a very long time. Let's see if he can get it done here at Knoxville. Already seeing a couple of separate grooves forming on the track as well as Harry Stewart moves it away. And we are green for Heat 2. Darcy Wilson moving up into second, but Hobbo's starting to come back around the outside.
Jaden Russell already up into 3rd position. Tim Ryan back in on by Brenton Hobson. This is the different lines that we were talking about before. You see that outside line, full noise right around the outside, and Tim Ryan's making it work perfectly for him.
Yeah, he certainly is, riding the wall almost and making it beautiful. Nice arc through a lot of those corners. Running a bit above the cushion though, so probably not getting the best of grip. That's not going to hurt him too much though versus Darcy Wilson, who's starting to fall back a bit here. Jaden Russell finally making his way past him, and Russell's actually pressuring the back, and Stewart now for the lead. We don't often see that. I'll tell you what, Jaden Russell having a really good run on race pace here tonight. I think his qualifying didn't quite come away with exactly how fast he actually is. But this is going to be a tight battle for the lead as Stewart tries to chase him back down, and Tim Ryan is closing in third place.
Sure is, and Brenton Hobson's under a little bit of pressure for the final transfer spot as well. Nash Granger started to fly a lot of pressure there in 5th position. Granger started this race in 6th. Hobson started 2nd, but his qualifying position would have put him 3rd if they had started where they qualified. Starting to break a little bit of the gap now as Tim Ryan through on Harry Stewart. He's really struggling in this one.
Yeah, Tim's not making much of a headway there, is he?
Harry's
Harry's not.
Yeah, he's still having the same trouble we saw from Joel Berkeley. There's a little bit of contact there between Tim Ryan and Jaden Russell.
Yeah, this is interesting. Ryan and Stewart, 2 of the heavy hitters in Australian sprint car racing on the iRacing service, but doesn't seem like they have much of an answer for the likes of Jaden Russell and Darcy Wilson right now. 2 drivers who you'd argue are in that top echelon of drivers, but never quite regular feature winners. So let's see what these last couple of laps bring us here as Wilson and Russell almost side by side for 2nd place. Tim Ryan, crucially, making his way through the lead, but there's still 1 lap for Jaden Russell to try and fight back. If you're interested in the transfer battle, well, Darcy Wilson, Harry Stewart, all the way ahead of Brenton Hobson, who I think has just been driving cleanly to the finish. Contact for the lead between Ryan and Russell, but they'll cross the line in that order. Very close gap at the end, just 0.08 of a second.
Yeah, very close in the end, and the entire top 5 separated by 1.5 seconds in the end. But everyone finished the race that started, which is good. Only 4 seconds separating the field. Tim Ryan, Jaden Russell, Darcy Wilson, Harry Stewart, and Brenton Hobson straight through to the A main. Nash Granger, Daniel Boyd, and Trista Yellen, they'll go through the alphabet.
Indeed they will. Time to move on to Heat 3 with Brady Baldwin and Nick Ryan on our front row here. Nathan Vanderwacker and Zach Rattray White, 3rd and 4th. Nathan Norman and Bailey Leeson round out our top 6. It's another 8-car field rounded out by Michael Rutledge and Travis Parrott. So let's see which of these drivers gets the best run here today. Rattray White, of course, with that brilliant performance in the quick time session. But we know how good of a racer we see from the likes of Baldwin, Ryan, and Vanderwacker. Still waiting to see if Norman, Leeson, or Rutledge will have any kind of response here. But there's at least, 1 more transfer spot than usual up for grabs. So it should be a good race either way.
100%. Another competitive field as well. So you look at the fields throughout the night, and you'd almost mark down every single driver as an automatic qualifier in all of these heats. So it shows that the field in this series is as strong as we've ever seen. So looking forward to seeing how this one does play out. Baldwin, Ryan, Vanderwacker, White, Rattray White, Norman, Leeson, Rutledge, and Parrott. The 8 cars we'll see in this heat. They've all been told to back off a little bit from the pace car and wait till the pace car is in the lane before they go.
Yeah, certainly is. But Nick Ryan not having the best of starts. He already fell back to 4th off the start of the race, but he's making his way back through. That number 7 is steaming around the outside, and the same is true for Bailey Leeson, who's going to get Zach Rattray White. Almost on the way into turn 1. Brady Baldwin off to a good lead at the moment of about 0.4 of a second. 3 wide just about between Vanderwacker, Norman, and Rattray White. This is an incredible little fight that we're already seeing, and Baldwin's not getting away from them.
No, he's struggling to pull away. Nick Ryan's keeping with him, and Rattray White going along as well. And then the final transfer spot between Vanderwacker and Norman. The Nathans are going at it quite aggressively right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, have a look at that around the outside there for Nathan Vanderwacker. Makes his way around Zach Rattray White beautifully, and we need to wait and see if there's any more for him to do to get back into the top 3. You see, of course, the 52 of Leeson also making moves there behind and almost putting Nathan Norman back down a position. There's the battle for the transfer spot, and it's going to be lost out by Leeson. Gets tired and then sent into the wall.
Unfortunate that's happened there, but Travis Parrott now right in the window of stealing that transfer spot. Nathan Norman driving quite aggressively to hold on to 5th place. Race Control will have a little look at that as well. With the incident there with Ian Leeson. Looks like they're not, so carry on. Norman might be a little bit lucky about that one.
Yeah, might be a little bit difficult to get some pace back from here on out. On board with Parrott now. This will be a difficult battle to the end. It's on for the lead just about. Nick Ryan has closed in on Brady Baldwin and is trying to go underneath him there on the exit of turn 3. Just a couple of laps to go. Zach Rattray White right on the rear. This is going to be a very tight battle for the win here in Heat 3.
Tight indeed. Baldwin just doing enough to hold on for now. Rattray White's there to pounce if anything happens between these guys. And saying that he's coming to make a move. Oh, Ryan makes contact with Baldwin. Ryan takes second, Baldwin in third, and Zach Rattray White somehow wins the race.
That is an incredible finish that we just saw there. It was the attempt at the dive, wasn't it? But ultimately, Zach Rattray White makes it happen on Nick Ryan and Brady Baldwin. Nathan Vanderwacker and Nathan Norman go through into the top 5. Travis Parrott, Michael Rutledge, your last finishers. Bailey Leeson out of the race after his unfortunate trip into the barriers. Time for Heat 4 then. Thomas Mitchell and Kobe Noonan are your front row for this one. And then we have Rob Crawley and Josh Barry, with John Schultz and Aston Hurley rounding out the top 6. Nickel and Payton are your last 2 cars on the field. And then we can move through into the C and B mains. This is another replay of what happened. So Rattray White, oh man, yeah, you see that the number 7 just got it a little crossed up there, it seems. And that just sent him into Rattray White, which then sent him into Baldwin.
Yep. But just a chain reaction of unfortunate events there, but hey, they've all made it through. That's probably the most important part. And hearing that Brady Baldwin ran out of fuel, which is partly why that he's had those issues. So fuel is a real issue for tonight. We knew it was going to be an issue, but to see it as such an issue so early on in the night is surprising.
Yeah, indeed it is. Well, I'm sure there'll be plenty of lessons learned there for the feature. Knoxville, of course, a very flat-out track. It's one of the tracks that you use the most fuel at, so you really need to be careful how much you put in. As we are led away here for the final heat of the night, Thomas Mitchell leading the way, and Robert Crawley trying to hold the line there in the middle of the road, but there's no grip there at the moment. Seems like the extreme inside or extreme outside is where you want to be, and Crawley is now the cork in the bottle. Up the inside goes Josh Barry to move into 3rd place. Crawley, Hurley, Schultz, Payton and Nickel, they're all together. It's a 5-car fight here for 4th place.
And that doesn't quite add up, does it? The two are going to miss out between this group. And Daniel Nickel's there ready to pounce, because this feels like something's going to happen in this group as Crawley and Schultz, for that 5th position, bump wheels down the back straight. This is an incredibly tight battle. Front of the field, Mitchell's pulled away, Newton's pulled away, but the rest of the field throw a blanket over them.
Yeah, absolutely. This is so intense here as Schultz still tries to keep Rob Crawley from getting into the transfer. A little bit more rotation there for the number 78, but he loses crucial momentum in the middle of the corner. Crawley just carrying more speed there. He's running the cushion a little bit better around the outside there, and Luke Payton decides, hey, I'm going to have a go at this as well. 2-way fight here for 5th place. I smell a transfer. And oh my God, the slide job there from Daniel Nickel has completely bottled it there for Luke Payton. Nickel managing to get away with it, but it looked like a bit of a clumsy maneuver.
Yep, a little bit unfortunate there for Payton. He was in the right spot at the wrong time. Yep, Crawley versus Schultz for the final transfer spot. It's down to 2. front of the field, Mitchell and Noonan, they've closed up the gap too. So plenty of battles going on in this heat. Final automatic transfer spots up for grabs.
Yeah, Thomas Mitchell then trying his best to hold on, but Kobe Noonan setting the fastest lap of the heat on the last lap. He is piling the pressure on in these last 3 laps. And Aston Hurley and John Schultz, you could throw a blanket over them as well for 3rd and 4th. It looks like Rob Crawley has lost touch with John Schultz now. Almost in the top 5 are just about safe. But the 28 versus the 26, who is going to win this battle?
Yeah, it's still well and truly up for grabs. Barney waving the white flag, so this is the last attempt for any of these guys to make a move. Will we see them just stay single file, or will they throw a big dive for those final crucial points? Of course, there's going to be a little bit of a move.
Yeah, down to the inside goes Kobe Noonan, but it's not going to be enough. Thomas Mitchell wins the final heat here at Knoxville. Josh Barry is going to join them on the podium. Aston Hurley and John Schultz will join them in transferring straight through to the feature. Rob Crawley and Daniel Nicol, as well as Luke Payton, all managing to finish the race, which is great to see. But now we'll be able to see a few of these guys for a second time tonight as we move into the C main. Nicol is going to actually start on pole position for the C main, which is going to last for about 12 laps in length. Riley Bilson is going to join him on the front row with Tristan Yelland and Bailey Leeson in 3rd and 4th. Luke Payton and Corey Borden. Only a 6-car field here for the C main, so we won't have as many cars on track for a few more laps than we've seen in the heats, 12 laps versus 10. But considering the action we've seen so far, I'm still excited.
Oh yeah, it's going to be brilliant. Top 4 will progress into the B main, so we're going to lose 2 from this one. You don't want your night to end at this point. And the other part of that too is Corey Borden hasn't been able to get out and do a lap since the quick time session, so he's having some sort of tech drama. It looks like he may miss the start again, so very unfortunate that he's having tech dramas.
Yeah, very unfortunate indeed. Well, let's hope that Mr. Borden will at least be able to maybe start from the pits if he can get reconnected in time, but I don't think he'll be able to. We might end up losing Corey Borden from the night, so only 5 cars are going to take to the start here. Daniel Nicol going to lead the way with Bilson, obviously falling under the auspices of race control for his part in causing the incident in his heat. Let's see if he can redeem himself by transferring through into the B main and then maybe into the feature. Away we go. Bilson puts the power down. Daniel Nicol is going to slide his way into an advantage, leading at the moment by about 0.2 of a second and closing as Bilson decides now is the time to make those big moves.
Just the fact that Tristan Yelland, they're ready to take advantage of any mistake that any of these drivers make, so he'll be there ready to take advantage. I'll tell you what, the way that these guys are racing, how hard they're racing, 5 into 4 doesn't go, someone's going to have to miss out, and the way they're going, it could be someone at the front.
That race for second was so close there. Bailey Leeson making the move on Nicol, and Nicol just slotted right in between Leeson and Payton. That was a fantastic bit of racing and exactly what we want to see at Knoxville, but feeding it into the wall a little bit is Daniel Nicol. He needs to be careful not to lose out more because Payton is right on at the back of him. Tristan Yelland obviously looming in the background at the moment, and like you said, Jay, he'll be hoping for a coming together ahead.
And there's every chance. We've seen it plenty of times tonight as Nicol almost gets his rear bar reshaped by Luke Payton's front. No contact, but it was very, very close, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone does pull a move that causes some sort of incident here. There's always drama in these races, and it's always the most surprising drama we see.
Yeah, there was the brief dip to the inside from Luke Payton. He doesn't seem to have much versus Daniel Nicol, though, in terms of pace. It is on for the lead, though. Bilson versus Leeson now. Bilson was incredibly quick at the start, but it seems like he's falling off a little bit, and Leeson is starting to pile on the pressure. So we have a battle for the lead, and we have a battle for third. And Tristan Yellen just minding his own business at the back, waiting to see if something happens between any of these guys. Remember, it's a 12-lap race, so we've still got plenty of time to go before this is decided.
Yeah, definitely still plenty of racing left in this one. And don't forget, we've said fuel is an issue around this track. Has someone, if I could use my words, miscalculated the fuel? Is getting a little look at a different one there. Riley Wilson, I mean, at least led the race for a little moment. Wilson doing enough to hold on. Has that change of line there from Wilson, is he a bit worried about fuel? Has he had to cut to the inside to save a dash of fuel and realise, hey, I might be a bit short?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. You mentioned fuel, and then I saw Bilson dipping to the inside. Yeah, gotta wonder. So we'll know for sure very shortly. Maybe he's just testing to see if it's got some pace on it here. Evidently it has, because he's starting to increase the gap here over Leeson. Unless, of course, Leeson is having problems with fuel. You never know.
100%. There's always a curveball in these races. And the smaller the field, the bigger the curveball we end up seeing. Leeson now going to the inside. That battle for third and fourth still ongoing. And here we go. Is the last lap, and Leeson's pace has dropped off dramatically. He's got no pace left in the car.
Yeah, it seems like that run has come to an end as the checkered flag flies. And Riley Bilson takes it. Leeson will transfer through side by side between Nickel and Payton across the line. What was the gap between those two? We'll have to wait and see when the results screen comes up right now. So, looks like only... Yep. Almost bang on 200ths of a second there for third place. Well, they'll transfer through into the B main. Unfortunately, we'll say goodbye to Tristo Yelland and Corey Borden, who was not able to take to the start here. Now we up the lap count by 3 and make our way into the B main. The top 4 from this one transfer through to the feature. Vickers and Granger are your front row, with Parrott and Crawley on row 2, De Bruin and Boyd rounding up the top 6. Then we have 7th place Michael Rutledge alongside the C main winner Riley Bilson. And then it's Leeson, Nickel and Payton to round out the 11-car field for this one. Should be plenty more action in this one, especially considering they have a spot in the feature to contend with.
Yeah, only 4 spots up for grabs means that this race is going to be action-packed throughout. Who's going to make it through? There's so many names in here that should be automatic A main qualifiers. Vickers, Granger, Parrott, Crawley are the top 4 at the moment, but Daniel Nickel, Luke Payton, Riley Bilson, he's been one of the big names throughout the season. Daniel Boyd's been top 10s in mains before, so this is going to be a brilliant race. 15 laps, bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on indeed. This is always a big scene of excitement waiting for the start of a sprint car race at Knoxville. Pace truck will be in the lane and away we will go. Actually, it looks to me like we're going out for that. Yeah, one more formation lap there. I thought that race control would shorten the pace period, but apparently not. So we get a little bit of extra time here to consider who might come away with the win. I mean, Bilson is definitely going to be a contender. He'll try and work his way through. Leeson, of course, had what we presume to be fuel issues, if not pace issues, in the C main, so he's probably going to have some trouble making his way forward. But Hayden Vickers, I think, would be a shoo-in for at least a podium here. We'll have to wait and see, though, because Nash Granger is going to give him the race of his life. Vickers is away. What a jump it is from the number 15 as we're away for the B main here at Knoxville. Nash Granger briefly losing second place to Travis Parrott, but the outside line is with you early on.
Almost as if Vickers remembered that it was go and the rest of the field was waiting for the pace truck to well get down the track, was waiting for the signal or something. He just took advantage. But that lead has already vanished and Nash Granger's coming back at him. Cam De Bruin in 4th as Robert Crawley and Riley Bilson coming and giving him company. Travis Parrott there as well, 3rd and 4th.
Side by side by side by side, all the way down through the field. Noah's arcing it into turns 1 and 2. The 91 now chasing The 35, Bilson and Crawley side by side as the number 13 of De Bruin tries down low, and there's a problem up high for Travis Parrott. Is that Rob Crawley? I can't even tell who's who. It is Travis Parrott who was having a couple of issues there. Ever since he tried having that run at Nash Granger for second, he's just been having trouble controlling the car as it's 3 wide now between Bilson, Crawley and De Bruin. What a fantastic battle here. And coming up the inside is Bailey Leeson, who was chasing Bilson in the C main, and now he has a chance to make good on that pace.
We're only a third of the way through this race as well. Remember, this is the last chance for drivers to make it into the A main. Top 4 progress. Everyone else goes home, so he's leaving everything on the line in this one. As just getting up on that inside berm there, Riley Bilson, that really hurt his momentum. Travis Parrott goes on by. Now Rob Crawley trying to make this move back once again.
All right, let's see what he can do. Remember, it is the top 4 who transfer through into the feature, and currently occupying 4th is Travis Parrott, but only by the slimmest of margins. He's got this battling pair behind him, Leeson versus Crawley. Leeson trying up the inside now, protecting a little bit from Luke Payton, and the number 54 is trying his best here to get stuck into the middle of this battle. Daniel Boyd and Michael Rutledge starting to drop off the back of this pack, but look at the 3 wide action once again, into the wall.
Payton into the wall.
Yeah, and the 35 of Crawley goes for a half spin as well.
Loses all of his momentum there. So now Leeson into that top 4. Bruin on the side. He's going to try and see what's put away. There's another car slow. That's Daniel Boyd. He's in the wall and he's out.
Oh no, Daniel Boyd's hopes of getting into the feature at Knoxville are dashed. And the battle's starting to come down now for the lead, because Hayden Vickers has been caught by Nash Granger, and they've both been caught by Riley Bilson, who sweeps up the inside to the lead of the race.
Wow, what a move from Bilson. And straight to the lead. He's gone from 3rd to 1st in one corner, and then chops the nose off of Hayden Vickers to keep that spot. Great move there. Back to the battle for the transfer. The Bruin doing enough just to hold on for now, but there's not much racing action left.
Yeah, absolutely. Only 3 laps after this one. Still running the extreme high line as Bailey Leeson. He's concentrating on getting that very straight line out of these corners while maintaining momentum up the top of the circuit. Can he get into 4th place and put Cameron De Bruin out of the feature? Well, he will have a little bit of contact with him. Just let him know he's there. But De Bruin continues to hold on here in the number 13.
How much longer can De Bruin hold on, though? That's the big question. Has he got enough left? Comes over to cover now. And to the inside goes Payton. And have a look. Granger's starting to struggle now too. Vickers also struggling. White flag in the air. Wilson's broken away. But the rest of the transfer spots, they're up for grabs now. Here comes Luke Payton making a move at the last moment.
Yeah, Luke Payton currently in 6th spot. Can he get into 5th, maybe 4th? It is the final couple of corners. Bilson gets it done. Contact behind. Nash Granger falling to 4th place. De Bruin still down to 6th. So your top 4 in the end being Bilson, Vickers, Leeson and Payton. My lord, what a race that was. Fantastic stuff from Riley Bilson to take victory there. Hayden Vickers, who started on pole, will still finish 2nd ahead of Leeson and Payton. Nash Granger and Cameron De Bruin gave them a big race indeed. Granger will be gutted about that. He started in 2nd, could have gotten into the top 4 by the end. Rutledge is going to finish in 7th with Crawley, Nickel, and Parrott, along with Daniel Boyd, not making it in. Parrott and Boyd out before the end. A big shame for them.
Yeah, unfortunate, but tell you what a way to finish that heat off. It was a fantastic race. And we saw a great battle the whole way through. I'm really, really excited to see how this A main goes. I've just posted the results of the points there for you to see as well, Reese. And no real surprise when you look at who's where in those points.
Yeah, indeed. We'll go through them in detail when it comes time for the feature. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one for sure. like you said, not many surprises. I'm pretty sure you can tell who our top two are at the very least. I'll just say it. Tim Ryan is on pole position with Ethan Winter sharing the front row with him. And, I mean, that's just been the story of the season so far, hasn't it? Ethan Winter getting some beautiful, consistent results and incredible wins, while Ryan recently has been struggling a little bit. And I'm sure that he'll be relishing the chance to start from pole again.
He'll be glad that there's no wheel to ruin it for him either, because every time he's been P1, he hasn't been able to carry that forward. When we've drawn for the position, so he'll be glad that there's none of that tonight. Especially after not taking P1 in qualifying as well, he'll probably be happy with that too. The quick time session, he wasn't able to get P1, and did steal it away with the position, and of course, Ethan Winter finishing second in his heat, that drops him behind.
Yeah, indeed it does. Well, I'm waiting to see if there's going to be anything special happening in the warm-up session before we get going, like a track reset or something of that regard. But I would imagine that not many people would be wanting a track reset at this stage. It looks like the track is still in a really good spot at this stage of the night.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm just getting that confirmed as well with race control, but I'm with you. It looks like it's almost perfect. 3 lines really were developing there in that B main. So I think we're going to see a pretty good track state when we get into racing in a few minutes' time. Actually, about 30 seconds' time, we're going to get into the race. Race control's just giving the orders now, just telling everyone to put in a tad extra fuel because we're going to do a 4-wide start.
Excellent stuff. This is going to be a fun time indeed. Always love it when we come to Knoxville.
I just got thrown a little bit there, Reese, because I was just about to say, oh, they're not supposed to be on the track at the moment, because I just saw those cars driving on the side of the road. Yeah. And it threw me thinking that there was someone out on the track.
Yeah. I half thought that as well. I love the detail that iRacing has put into their scan of Knoxville, especially the surroundings. We have the railway line, we have the traffic on the road as well. Even down to the grain of the wood on these signal light posts. It really is amazing, the sheer amount of work that is put into these tracks that we race on by the crew at iRacing. Let's see who comes away the best. We'll go through our rough grid for now, with Tim Ryan, of course, starting on pole with Ethan Winter. Zach Rattray-White and Casey Simons will be joining him on the front row of 4. Josh Barry, Darcy Wilson, Nick Ryan and Thomas Mitchell are your second row. Then we have Kobe Noonan, Joel Berkeley, Nathan Van Der Wacker and Jaden Russell on row 4, positions 9 to 12. On the 5th row, Brenton Hobson, Cole Ferguson, Brady Baldwin and Harry Stewart. And then rounding out our field on the final row is Nathan Norman, John Schultz, Aston Hurley, and Danny Vassell, your top 20. And then finally, we have Bilson, Vickers, Leeson, and Payton, who transferred through from the B main, starting all the way from the back row of the grid as we move our way out onto the racetrack here for the 4-wide start.
Yeah, cool that we're getting the 4-wide here. Tradition here at this track in real life, so great that we can replicate it in the sim as well. One of the cool things I do love about the dirt community is that we do try and replicate as much of the real world as we can, whether it's formats, whether it's racing nights, whether it's anything that they do in the real world. Try and bring it across into the sim, and it's always cool when that happens, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it's cool as well. So we'll go around our formation laps in 2-wide formation, forming up to 4-wide for the final formation lap. We've got 40 laps on the cards for the feature. And of course, once again, that is 40 green flag laps. looking at the bottom of the racetrack, you see how much slick there is down low. That's very interesting because we've seen the majority of drivers using the high line and riding the cushion up top. This is going to be a fun start to see who gets the advantage early on. But our field forming up 4 wide in preparation for the Knoxville Nationals here, part of the Australian Sprintcar Championships by Oceanic Dirt Sim Events. What a shot that is. What a field we have on our hands tonight. Tim Ryan in the Logitech G car down low is going to take the start, and it's going to be a fun ride indeed.
Just to counter the excitement, but how cool was that shot? I'm actually glad I got that drone shot. It actually worked.
Yeah. You up for a take 2?
Maybe. Let's see.
Oh dear. Oh well. Tim Ryan and the number 39 making their initial starts here. They've formed back into 2 wide for the true race start, I believe. So we'll see now how Tim Ryan goes in the number 98. Oh, okay, we're going out for another formation lap, it seems.
Yeah, it'll be last formation lap now. Actually, just making sure everyone's in the correct order. They're just double checking that everyone is in the right spot before we go green. So that's
fair enough. Fair enough.
Now.
Okay. I was bringing up the excitement just a little bit too early there, guys. Sorry about that. But now we form our way up, and now this should be the actual race start. Gently does it up the front of the field. Ryan will have the advantage, accelerating away early. And here we go. Listen to the revs rise as we get on the power for Knoxville. 40 laps on the cards here, and already Tim Ryan trying to skip away in the lead of the race. Ethan Winter protecting second spot from Casey Simons, who's already running the extreme high line. They're feeding the right rear into the wall. There's already troubles for the 91
Bilson.
of Riley Bilson. Yeah, he was on the back row, and he's had some trouble already. The 54 of Casey Simons with a fantastic run here, but Zach Rattray White for the moment sits in P3.
Yeah, Rattray White and Simons battling hard, and they're letting those front 2 start to develop a bit of a margin as well. So that lead gap now out to almost a second, but Simons, Rattray White, and Darcy Wilson sticking with them as well. Top 5 at the moment, but there is a big gaggle of cars starting to close in to that top 3 fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's tons of racing going on here in the midfield. They're everywhere. I couldn't pick a battle if I tried. Just think of the entire field as a battle at this point. The 27.
Oh, no.
Oh my God! All right, Kobe Noonan and Nick Ryan. It looked like were the cars involved in that one.
Yeah, Nick Ryan was definitely involved. I'm not sure who'd you say, Kobe Noonan, the other car involved.
Yes.
Yeah. No, positive for them. They're within the first few laps, so they will be able to come in and use their spares. But yeah, that has not gone to plan for those guys at all.
No, certainly hasn't. They'll move their way in. It looks like Baldwin as well, finding a spare car there. I think he had some issues early on. We'll see what happened here between Noonan and Nick Ryan. And it looks like he was trying to come up and then made contact with Noonan as he came around. And oh my God, they were stopped instantly the moment they hit the barrier. That would have been a huge scare for the drivers behind.
I think that was Brady Baldwin that made contact as he came through right at the end of that as well. So that's why he had that issue. And just try and see if I can work out what happened to Riley Bilson right at the start of that as well. Because remember at the race start, we said that he dropped off. Actually surprised that he didn't bring out a caution on lap 1.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. We're about to see it. This is Bilson having to check up, and then wow, actually did a full 360 and got back racing. That was impressive. Very impressive indeed from the number 91. Regardless, he's way back down in the field now, and it looks like Kobe Noonan has not re-emerged from the pit lane. if anything, I think he might have escaped off the racetrack, so I'm not too sure what's going on for Noonan there, but that's going to be a big blow to his hopes of getting a good result here tonight. Yeah, he's still in the pits, so...
Yeah, I think because he had to tow, he's not allowed back out on the track.
Yeah, that's a shame for Kobe Noonan. We have already lost one driver of our 24 taking to the feature start. Well, Tim Ryan and Ethan Winter once again the front row on our first restart of the night, and have a look at that, immediately down low when Ethan Winter to try and keep the likes of Rattray White and Casey Simons behind them. That look at the racing going on here. Rattray White holding on as they're 3 wide for 4th place. Darcy Wilson in the middle trying to keep Casey Simons honest, and trying around the outside is Darcy Wilson, looking at Josh Barry there, making a great move around the outside there in the number 14. Looks like the outside is working very well for these guys at the moment. Joel Berkeley losing it a little bit in the purple car on the inside, but he'll stay within the top 10 as Harry Stewart is steadily making up places. Barry once again rounding the top of the circuit, and he's up into 2nd place now. This is an incredible run from Josh Barry, and it's come to an end as he hits the wall and spins around.
No caution. Oh no. Josh Barry makes
Brady
contact.
Baldwin doing
Brady.
a wheelie there as he got recovered. We do stay green. That was some big drama there.
And on the previous lap,
another crash at the back.
Yeah.
Oh dear, car's over and around. Brady Baldwin getting into Riley Bilson there as Bilson lost it down low, getting tapped by Aston Hurley.
So the lap previous, I was about to say the lap previous, this happened. So that is the car of Danny Vassell. He's broken his car. So just before this incident all unfolded, on the previous lap, that happened.
Wow. How did we not get a caution for that?
Yeah, well, there was no one else around at the time, so I'm guessing that's why. But then this one here, the fact that no caution came out from iRacing, that was very surprising. But anyway, and then he restarts, goes contact with Baldwin. Somehow Brady continues on, but I think his car's a little bit broken. And then Bilson.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. Oh, it wasn't.
Goes for a big flip.
Oh, so I thought it was Brady Baldwin that got into Bilson. It was actually Brenton Hobson. I got my Synergy cars confused there for a moment. I do apologize. But that was disastrous. I mean, we had 2 incidents that should have brought out a caution, and then we had a massive crash to bring the caution back out. And Aston Hurley, deemed the cause of that caution, has been given an end-of-line penalty by race control.
Yeah, not surprised either, because he did just run over Riley Bilson. So that's what's brought out the caution. That's now a penalty, and he goes to the back of the line as we get ready to restart. We'll go green this time by. Unfortunately, Bailey Leeson and Riley Bilson, both appear to be out of the night's running as well.
Yeah, well, we're rapidly losing cars here as the field gets ready. And I feel for Josh Barry most of all, because he was having an incredible run. Had gotten up to 2nd place, but just went too deep in 3 and 4 and collected the outside wall. Maybe that'll be a clue for what kinds of moves we may or may not be seeing from the 14 as the race goes on. To begin the 9th lap, here comes Tim Ryan and Ethan Winter struggling for a getaway there. Oh, makes contact with Casey Simons down low. And Simons will have to give up the position there to Darcy Wilson and Jaden Russell. Russell standing to get a very good result from tonight's running as Berkeley running the outside line there. Looks like we have Thomas Mitchell in the midst of all of that as well. John Schultz leading a huge pack of cars here in the midfield.
Yeah, Schultz, Ferguson, Payton, Barry, Baldwin. Oh, in the wall.
Oh.
Payton. Big hit in the wall, but he's able to continue on, luckily. We stay green at the front. Jaden Russell gets himself up into 3rd. No, loses it back. Oh, contact.
Oh, no. And the caution's out.
Oh.
This has been a terrible race for Synergy, hasn't it?
Yep. Absolutely nothing has gone their way at all. And you can see the front of that car is destroyed. And guess what? You can get your fast repair in the first 10 laps. We're on lap 11.
Well, that's the end of the night for Jaden Russell. What a shame. Driving hard with the number 5 of Darcy Wilson. Russell was up in such a good spot here, but unfortunately just came together with Darcy there.
Didn't they?
Yeah. Tends to happen at Knoxville. High-speed corner exits. You want to try and get up to the high part of the racetrack on the straights to get the best run through the corners. But, oh, hang on. I don't think you're allowed to do that, Jaden. It was lap 11, but maybe he's conferred with race control and been given permission. If he hasn't, then this is going to be a big no-no, him coming back out onto the track.
One thing I want to talk about, have a look at Joel Berkeley here. Just absolutely bouncing it off the wall, and then we see here the contact. And then there's another bit of contact there for Berkeley. Look how much he got up into the wall there.
Yeah, well, with the new damage model active on all cars on iRacing now, Joel Berkeley will have a lot of accumulative damage on that car. I'm wondering if he'll be able to keep up the pace from here.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out very quickly.
Yeah, certainly will indeed. And I've just seen that Jaden Russell's had his black flags cleared by race control, so
Okay.
I
got permission as well. They've been permitted to use their fast repair to lap 20.
Right. Okay, fair enough. All right, so we'll let that one slide as drivers will let their cars slide through the corners.
Good to get confirmation on that.
Yes,
I normally ask that question, and the one night I haven't asked is the one night that we needed that info.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Jaden Russell will resume running at the back of the field, and crucially for most people in this field, there is still a chance for them to come in and take a fast repair until the halfway point of the flat-out running here. Berkeley making his way up into 4th spot. This is a pretty fantastic job that he's doing so far, but again, does he have the car under him to get it done for the rest of the race? Back green again. This time Ethan Winter is not pressured by cars behind. Casey Simons losing out a little bit and Berkeley losing pace at the exits of the corners. That's going to allow Harry Stewart to get up the inside here, and Berkeley again into the wall, and that's what I was fearing. He just doesn't have the stability there. Hitting the wall on the outside, and we are back under caution once more.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious as to why as well, isn't it? We don't really need to go to the replay to see it, but we'll see it with a bit closer look. And as you said, he just got too stuck in the wall, and he's just too aggressive, too much pace. Unsettles the car through one of the ruts. And see you later. Not much more to say about that.
No, and we then lose Slick Sim Sports Joel Berkeley from the night of racing. That's a shame, because it's been a while since we've seen Joel Berkeley consistently competing in ODSE events, and he made his return a few rounds ago, and he's lost none of his pace, none of his aggression, but just not paying off at Knoxville.
No, not able to pay off tonight. One thing, that's why we got this opportunity, Reese. Let's have a look at the track conditions. It still looks in really good shape, the track right now.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's a fair amount of fresh clay there in the middle there in turn 1 as the pace truck comes in, and it's a single file restart that we now have here as the field gets away. Green flag flies and Tim Ryan is away, and well, he hasn't seemed to be under much pressure here. He's steadily running the inside line. Most drivers sticking to the middle and the high lines though, so we'll see if Ethan Winter can try and come back at him. He's coming up into the cushion on the exits, but Casey Simons making the move around the outside of Darcy Wilson. We'll have to wait and see in turn 1. Casey is going to get it done round the middle. Nicely done indeed from Casey Simons, but Harry Stewart is right there to take advantage of the battling, and the 17 of Zach Rattray White still in contention there, though struggling to keep the car straight.
Well, we know that the medium cars have got pace because we saw Josh Barry have pace early on, so don't be surprised if Zach Rattray White can come up and into this battle towards the end. But Simons doing enough to hold on for 3rd. Winter and Ryan, they're off in their own postcode again, but the rest of the field is so tightly compacted.
Yeah, that it is. Harry Stewart and Casey Simons fighting tooth and nail for third at the moment, and I'm a bit concerned about Stewart running as high as he is. I'm worried that the same thing will happen to him as happened to Joel Berkeley if he keeps going that way, but he seems comfortable on the high line in turns 1 and 2. He is hitting the ruts occasionally, but he's keeping the pace.
He's keeping the pace pretty nicely, but he's not able to maintain the pressure to the guys in front. In saying that, Ethan Winters dropped a little bit of pace as the caution's out. Something happened with Hayden Vickers.
Oh no.
Another Synergy car having issues.
Yeah, and Vickers has been one of the worst handed in terms of luck in this field. It looks to me like it was a solo mistake there. He goes into turns 3 and 4, but there's just too much oversteer in the middle of the corner, and he comes down into his teammate, Brenton Hobson.
Synergy have only had bad luck. They've had no good luck tonight at all, so they'll be brewing tonight. They'll be looking forward to the night ending. We're almost halfway through this race, finally. But yeah, it's been a bit messy, this one.
Oh, it has. We're not even at that crucial lap 20 mark for the drivers' limit to come in for their fast repair. Yeah, we've how many cautions is that now? 4 or 5?
More than enough.
Yeah, we've gotten a caution every few laps on average at this stage, so hopefully the second half of the race is a little bit cleaner, but the way drivers have been fighting, I'm not optimistic. And with $100 to win on the line, I mean, it makes sense why they're racing as hard as they are, but Tim Ryan and Ethan Winter, they're just the picture of serenity at the front of the field right now. Everyone else is scrambling to catch up to them and paying the price.
Yeah, I think scrambling's the exact right word, isn't it? There's an absolute scramble going on back here, back behind those front two. In saying that, Ethan Winter did start to lose a little bit in that last run, so we'll see what happens here as Darcy Wilson tries to make the inside work. Everyone else on the outside, and Harry Stewart hits the wall, as you said.
Yeah, he's doing that a bit too much for my nerves, and Zach Rattray White will take advantage of the fighting and almost go 3 wide with Simons and Wilson. Rattray White looking very calm there on the high line. He's not getting into the ruts like Stewart and Berkeley have been, and a little bit of extra room given by Casey Simons to allow him to continue on. Look at the amount of drivers trying to run the middle there as the yellow flag is out, and Rattray White and Barry have crashed, and that's also involved Thomas Mitchell and John Schultz as well.
Well, that was unexpected. But yeah, Rattray White being the cause of that one surprises me a little bit because he had such good pace, but just not able to use it to his advantage. And guys that seem to have pace, other than Ryan and Winter, have all made mistakes while they've had that good pace.
Yeah, they've gotten a really good run going, and then something's gone wrong, like getting into the wall there for Rattray White. Spins in front of the field, and Schultz collects him, and also saw Josh Barry come in there as well. Barry, yeah, Thomas Mitchell looks like upside down there, and so we're not going to be seeing any more of him tonight. Crucially, it is lap 20, and so this is the last opportunity for drivers to come in for a fast repair. No surprise to see Rattray White and Schultz deciding to go for it. Rattray White overshooting the pit box there for a second. He will come out ahead of Schultz regardless. So, who have we lost now? Well, Mitchell and Barry on that caution. Hayden Vickers, Joel Berkeley, Luke Payton, Riley Bilson, Bailey Leeson, and Kobe Noonan all joining the retirements list here. We only have 17 cars left running in this race. Danny Vassell, he spent a while in the pits some time ago, but he is back out on the racetrack in the number 97. A couple of laps down, but crucially trying to get the finish and potentially some points from this as well.
Yeah, exactly right. Trying to get a couple of points to maybe advance him in the championship. Thing to note as well, this race is set for 28 minutes. We're not far away from hitting the or a chance of hitting time certainty if we maintain the amount of cautions we've had tonight.
Yeah, well, let's hope for a nice clean run to the end then. Tim Ryan gets away nicely. Ethan Winter under more pressure than ever as Stewart, Simons and Wilson battling hard to stay in touch with him. Wilson falling off that battle a little bit as Stewart continues to feed the right rear to the wall. How long will that smile on him? He's gotten the pace and he's switching down low for the move on Ethan Winter, and a three-way battle between Wilson, who's falling back, dropping down like a stone. Van der Wacker moves past him and Simons is now up into fourth. Wilson's starting to fight back now.
Van der Wacker's a driver we haven't mentioned at all in this main, and all of a sudden he's now found himself in the top 5 with good pace and good car control. We know what he can do, so this is going to be great to watch Van der Wacker now move up into 4th. Has he got enough to close in on Winter and Ryan in these last couple of laps as Harry Stewart clobbers the wall?
Yeah, if Stewart keeps doing that, then I'm sure Van der Wacker will at least have a run at Winter. But Tim Ryan is his typical self now. He's been holding on to that lead the whole time, just keeping the car nice and straight down low as the caution's out yet again. Jaden Russell, Cole Ferguson and Nick Ryan involved in that one, and it looks like that's Nick Ryan on his roof and out of the race.
Jaden Russell's out as well, so he is night done.
Oh,
Jaden
man.
Russell is over. Cole Ferguson will be done as well. Oh, what a disaster that one is.
There's going to be a lot of flaring tempers coming out of tonight. It looks like, Cole Ferguson made contact with Nick Ryan, or rather Ryan made contact with Ferguson. Looked like Cole was just a bit slow. Seems like he hit the wall up high. You'll see him there just get into the ruts, and then in comes the number 7, clobbers him, and then they get spun around.
Tell you what, Nathan Norman was lucky to get away with that one too. He almost got clobbered in that as well. Yeah, admin team are doing their best to take away as many caution laps as we can to get back under green flag conditions so we can actually finish all of the laps of the races, because we are getting close to that time certain finish, which we do not want to see.
No, we don't. Laps run about 18 seconds up at the front, and so we might be able to fit those last few laps in. We just need to make sure that we get a solid green flag run going. Drivers have been pushing too hard up high and paying the price all night. Tim Ryan has been running low pretty much all night, and he has gone to the bank and come away with a smile on his face, at least for the time being, as Winter and Stewart battle over second. Now Winter's starting to move a bit further down low. He's still running high on the exits, but he's using that fresh clay in the middle of the track on entry to get that move done. Here comes the 88 of Nathan Van der Wacker. Oh, making contact with Harry Stewart as he makes his way past into 3rd, but I think that was all fair and good for the time being. Let's see if he can hold on to it and have a run at Ethan Winter for 2nd.
Yeah, he's got good pace at the moment. He's the fastest car out on track, even with that contact, so he has got the pace to maybe close in on Tim Ryan and Ethan Winter. 13 and a half laps to go, so not much left in this one. We'll see how it plays out. Still 7 minutes on the clock, so we should be finished as long as we stay green for the majority of it.
Yeah, Tim Ryan's starting to lose pace, you see. He's not leading by as much as he used to, and Winter is dialing up the aggression here, partially in response to the run from Van der Wacker, but now he smells victory. It's in his sights. Tim Ryan swapped up to the high line. Potentially had been saving fuel the whole time, and now is trying to run the high line to just burn that fuel off. Van der Wacker down low. He is right with our leaders.
Yeah, Van der Wacker's got some great late race pace here. Be 11 to go when they cross the line as Ethan Winter briefly gets to the lead. Tim Ryan now closes back to the inside to cover off, but not the extreme inside, which Nathan Van der Wacker is making work, and making work very well right now. He's looking so strong right now.
Yeah, he's so tight through the corners. And Stewart still struggling to keep it out of the wall up top there. I think what's happening here for Van der Wacker is he's crucially going low on the exits of the corners. That brings him into the fresh clay down the straights and allows him a little extra traction. But now he's going to try and swap to the high line for another run here, as it seems Casey Simons is having a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, and Harry Stewart's just dropped from these guys completely, and he's holding on for dear life in P number 5 right now. He doesn't want to lose any more spots, but the battle for the podium is well and truly on. Half a second separates Ryan and Winter. And half a second separates Winter, Vanderwacker, and Simons right now. 8 laps remaining, and this is so open right now. Anyone could take this at this point.
Vanderwacker almost drawing alongside Ethan Winter there, who switches down low. He's trying to find some traction there, but it's so slick down at the bottom. You have to be inch perfect with your car placement to get it done. Vanderwacker just flinging it through on the high line and using the fresh clay on the exit to get the move done. He's up into second, but for how long? Winter comes back at him.
Winter throws the slider, and he's going to get it done as well. So Ethan Winter let Vanderwacker take the spot for a moment, but took it straight back as Vanderwacker tries to rinse and repeat. Vanderwacker back through. Is it going to continue? Of course it is. Here comes Winter back through again.
Yeah, middle of the road this time through 3 and 4, but this time Vanderwacker has more pace up high, and it looks like he's going to keep it for now. It took him a while to get it, but a fantastic run up to P2 for Vanderwacker. I don't think there's enough time for him to get it done on Tim Ryan for the lead, even if he did have a great pace advantage. Now Casey Simons will try and shuffle Ethan Winter off the podium places. We are in the final 4 laps of the race. We have stayed green for the majority of this now, and with only 12 cars still running on track, no surprise there. Everyone wanted a piece of the action tonight at Knoxville, but there's still a bit more action to come from what I can see. Vanderwacker, the fastest car on track last time by, he ran mere 0.06 of a second faster than Tim Ryan, but the lead is still ballooning out to over a second.
Yep, it's now 1.3 seconds, and Vanderwacker isn't able to close in anymore. The gap between Simons and Harry Stewart. Stewart's now 1.5 seconds back. He is in all sorts of trouble. And Ethan Winter just doing what he can to hold on to his championship lead. But Tim Ryan... Oh, Harry Stewart's around.
Oh no, and that's brought out another caution. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the race.
Are we going to get a green-white checkered, it seems?
Oh, okay. All right. Let's get this done then. As we will have a little look at what happened to Harry Stewart. He's fallen down now to 5th spot and has been having a bit of a rough run, but this is the crucial chance here that Vanderwacker has been hoping for a run at Tim Ryan for the win in the Knoxville Nationals. What drama.
Drama indeed, and again, just driver pushing too hard and getting stuck on the outside wall, hits that little berm that's built up there, and there he goes. Tried to make sure that he didn't bring out the caution, but didn't really have much of a say in it. The caution comes out. We get one last lap to finish this off. Sorry, it'll be a 2-lap dash. 2 laps of racing.
All right, 2-lap dash to end the night here. Look at how close Vanderwacker is getting to Ryan. He wants to be as close as possible to the 98. 2 World of Outlaws iRacing World Championship drivers. Tim Ryan, the champion in 1 year. Vanderwacker trying his best to stake his claim. Let's go then for the run to the finish here at Knoxville. 2 laps to go here. The caution has come back out instantly, and that's Aston Hurley that's gotten on his roof.
And that'll end the race as well. We will finish this one under caution. That means that Tim Ryan will win the night, because he's only got 1 attempt at green-white checkered. But Tim Ryan will be your winner.
Well, there we go. Nathan Vanderwacker did not have the opportunity to get it done. If we'd had a few more laps, I would have loved to have seen what he could do. What a run it was from the number 88, but take nothing away from Tim Ryan. He led all the way. That's the Tim Ryan we know and love.
Yep. That every lap of that A main was not easy, but he made it work. And now takes the white flag, and they'll finish it behind the pace truck. This is how it happened. Aston Hurley put his foot down, got it all sorts of crossed up. Hobson just made a little bit of contact with him. Didn't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah, that was quite a horrific crash it ended up being. I thought it would have been a little more sedate than that, but playing ping pong with the barriers. And, well...
Now, will we get 1 lap dash here? Because remember, caution laps don't count. So I'm thinking we may actually get 1 lap here, Reese.
Actually, yeah, we might. Okay. Well, yeah, we're staying out, and it looks like we're putting the power down again for one lap to the end here at Knoxville. This has been a crazy night. Will Vanderwacker be able to get it done here? Or will Ethan Windsor be able to come back at him and nab second place to try and consolidate that championship lead? Tim Ryan leading into turns 3 and 4, the final few seconds of the race, and Tim Ryan will get it. Vanderwacker just holds off Winter for second.
Yeah, good job from Vanderwacker there to get second in the end, considering where he was earlier in the night. That's a great result for him, but Tim Ryan, even though with the aborted first attempt at saying he's going to win the night, he does win this time. We can guarantee it. Wins, picks up the lead, or led every single lap. If I could actually get my words right. But yeah, great result there for Tim Ryan. He drove brilliantly. Did a great job at every restart to make sure he maintained that margin and just drove away from the field every chance he got.
Yeah, he will occupy victory lane at Knoxville for sure, and it will be a very sweet victory once again, but he can't get there. Oh no. Oh dear. Well, that's going to end things then for the feature at the Knoxville Nationals in the ODSE Australian Sprintcar Championships for 2024. Tim Ryan winning after an absolute caution fest of an A main. Vanderwacker and Winter will complete the podium. Casey Simons will hold on to 4th place. Really good drive from him, as well as from Nathan Norman, who, remember, we saw involved in incidents that brought out cautions early on in the race. Managed to get 5th out of that. Nice. Darcy Wilson, he was fighting up the front all night long, but we'll have to settle for 6th. The 7 of Brady Baldwin finishes in 7th, with Harry Stewart having late problems to finish in 8th. John Schultz and Brenton Hobson, both involved in cautions early on and had damaged cars, but they round out the top 10.
From there we go back to Zach Rattray White. Does finish the race 1 lap down. Then tale of woe for multiple drivers. Aston Hurley, Cole Ferguson, Nick Ryan, Jaden Russell, Danny Vassell, Thomas Mitchell, Josh Barry, Hayden Vickers, Joel Berkeley was a huge one. And Luke Payton, Bailey Leeson, Riley Bilson, and Kobe Noonan all didn't finish the race. Over half our field didn't finish the race tonight.
Yeah, that was an absolutely chaotic ride at Knoxville, but rising above it all was Tim Ryan. You led all the way, Tim. Goodness gracious, that must have been tough from the front.
Yeah, it was, especially with the track moving around so much. Yeah, it was really tough to know what line to be on, and I heard, I don't know who it was, I have to presume it was Ethan, running on the outside of me, so I presumed he would have been further up, so I was kind of just trying to save the tyres at the start, but then realised they were pushing the pace a little bit more than I was expecting, so then had to up my pace a little bit, but yeah, it was nice to not have to do that top 8 redraw tonight, and yeah, go from the front.
Yeah, absolutely. You always like starting from the front. It allows you to control the race from there. But we saw a few big runs from many drivers, including the number 14 of Josh Barry early on. Some magnificent drives from drivers further on back. Were you ever concerned that one of them might be able to put the run together?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I had set the car up for the bottom, so when it did go to the top there, I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable. I had enough fuel to run up there, but just tailored the setup a little bit more to run on the bottom. So yeah, it was a little bit difficult when running the top. I couldn't commit as much as I would like to, but it was good enough to get the job done, and yeah, just happy to come away with a decent result.
Yeah, as you should be, Tim. That's some excellent championship points for you in a very tight battle with Ethan Winter up the very top of the standings. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out for your success tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank I think it was Loose Operations was sponsoring the night. Was that correct, Reese?
Yes, I'll confirm that for you. Yes, it is.
Thank you, Jay. Yes, them for sponsoring the round. Brady, obviously, for organising the league. I think there was a few yellows tonight, so I haven't watched back to see how the driving was obviously yet, but yeah, them guys are putting the league on, you guys for broadcasting. Yeah, see you guys next round.
Excellent stuff from Tim Ryan, who takes the feature win here at Knoxville. And it was a mammoth run to second place for Nathan van der Wacker. Nathan, you must be spewing that those cautions came out right at the end, because you might have had something for Tim there.
Yeah, the car was wound up, and I was hauling the mail, selling the t-shirts. It was on like Donkey Kong. Yeah, and I knew the pace was there. I knew I was chasing them. And yeah, just the restarts. I wasn't as confident on the restarts, and yeah, the cautions probably came out at the right time for Tim.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it seemed like your car was a lot stronger on the worn track than it was on the slightly fresher one. Obviously, you would have been aiming for that to be the case.
Yeah, I find that's kind of my driving style as well. I think the more fuel I've got in the car, the better I seem to go. And Knoxville, honestly, is probably one of my worst tracks, and I don't like it when it's a fresh track and it's hammered down. I feel helpless. I can't make time anywhere, where I feel like on the feature tracks, you know, my throttle control and the really loose car with a lot of fuel, I feel just a bit more at home with that. So I feel like I've got more pace in the features, but that was really unexpected tonight. I don't think I've gone that well at Knoxville. You know, I might. Tonight I started 11th. Usually I'd probably stay 11th or around the mid-pack, and yeah, I was just making spots everywhere. I felt comfortable on the top, felt very comfortable, but through the bottom, I don't think I touched the bottom. I didn't feel comfortable, but yeah, at the end there was some weird slicker line working through 1 and 2, and that seemed to get me a lot of pace. So yeah, really surprising night for myself.
Yep, podium for you. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for it?
Oh, of course. You know, I've only jumped on here in the last day. You know, I've been off all week, so got to give a huge thanks to the boys at BBS and Vortex for, you know, putting the setups together and working on it. You know, it helps a lot when I can come in here straight away and be quick straight away. And of course, all of our sponsors at Vortex Simsport, Maddington and Canning Vale Toyota, Teddy Granny Flats and Modular Homes, Pace Graphics, Styled Imagery, Racecraft Simulations, Pulse Apparel, Australian Speedway Results, and of course, big thanks to you guys at SimSpeed and ODSE for putting on a hell of a show.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been much of a show without the brilliant results of the drivers. That's Nathan van der Wacker there, bringing the fantastic run to second place ahead of Ethan Winter, who still gets onto the podium. That was a very tough one there for you, Ethan, but late on, you were pressuring Tim.
Yeah, I got schooled there a bit at the start there on the bottom. Maybe it was the fuel load, I'm not sure, but just wasn't good enough at the start there, and really needed to rely on cautions to be anywhere near him at the start. Once the line changed to like a slider kind of top, you know, was reasonably close, and just tried to stay out of the cushion. Like if I touched the cushion at all, I knew I was going to be upside down the pits.
I think it goes without saying you would have been hoping for some longer green flag runs, because it seemed like every time you had something for Tim or for Nathan at the end, the race was stopped again.
Yeah, there was a few times there where I had a good run going and the caution would come out, and it's frustrating, but you know, these things go your way and they don't go your way sometimes. So we just build on that and look forward to Lucas Oil in 2 weeks, I think it is.
Yep, indeed, and we'll be racing the 360s at that round. So how do you go in 360s versus 410s? Do you find that you prefer one over the other?
I prefer the 410, like more power. There's a bigger gap within the field, but I think Lucas Oil is a racy track in the 360, and I think we can put a good show on there.
Brilliant stuff. Well, keeping yourself in the lead of the championship coming out of this round, Ethan, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, obviously thanks to Brad, Loose Operations, for putting it on. It wasn't the best show, obviously, but yeah, we'll take it. Obviously thanks to Brady, Liam, Race Control, Tim Speed, Damon, my people that helped me out, Colin, Joey, Lockie, Cole, all the Vortex guys, and my sponsors, Focus Built Sprints, District 23 Suspension and Engineering, Pace Graphics, Joey Lingren Photography, and Vortex Simsport for all they do.
Fantastic stuff from Ethan Winter, jumping into third at Knoxville. Well, Jay, that's going to bring proceedings to an end for tonight. The ProServe Finance Missouri Mayhem at Lucas Oil Speedway is up next. And I love watching racing at Lucas Oil. We're back in the 360s, as I said, for this round. And it's going to be a night of big sins for sure.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've been to Lucas Oils, but I'm looking forward to it. Should be a very, very good night of racing, and we've always seen some really good racing at this track in the past, as you said. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to another good night. 360s around a little bit smaller of a track always provides good racing as well. A little bit less power means that the racing seems to be a little bit closer. Hopefully it's not quite as heated as it was tonight, and we see some great battles.
Yeah, he is hoping indeed. Once again, we want to thank Loose Operations for coming on as the title sponsor for the Knoxville Nationals here, and a big thanks to all the crew at ODSE for putting this event on, and not least the drivers for bringing us some fantastic action here tonight. I'm Reese Gardner. Jay Kennedy with me in the comms box here, and thanks very much to Brady Baldwin for jumping in and covering for me early on. We're SimSpeed TV, and we'll see you next time.